Well, g'day. Ace here. It's so good for you to join me all again. It's been a hot minute, as they say. I'm still taking photos. I'm still writing. I just wanted to jump in and just read something I've written. It's got no significance. It doesn't mean anything. But I've been listening to a lot of Jack Kerouac lately, and this is kind of inspired by Jack Kerouac. There was a photo that it was kind of based on, but it really has no relevance to the story. So I'm just jumping on to say I'm still alive, still writing, and I'm going to read to you. So this is about love. Also, I got a new watch. How cool is that? Love was invented around 11 p.m. on the 11th of December 1999, just next to the front bar of the Oriental Hotel in some inner-city suburb of Sydney. In the east, I remember all too well. It was one of those typical Sydney evenings, impossibly balmy and beautiful, just hours after the lazy sunset on those daylight-saved days. I was unsure what we were saving the daylight for, but I adored the easy way the sun would rise over Bondi in the summer. So there she was, standing just near the front bar, sipping Stolly from a frosted bottle with a red and white candy cane straw, her red lipstick marking the plastic straw. Remember those indestructible receptacles of cold summer beverages before the pinko greens banned them, and those fantastic polystyrene McDonald's burger boxes? Remember those? Those lips, heavenly and serene, red lipstick and blue eyes as blue as those beautiful waters of the beaches we would soon frequent together. It was where love was invented. Did I mention that? The bottle of Stolly, vodka lolly water made for the ladies and girly boys who couldn't stomach a cold beer on a hot Australian summer evening. It was the first of the pre-mixed drinks. But we're here to talk about the time when love was invented. She was everything a 19-year-old girl should have been in Australia in the late 90s. We were, as a city, getting ready for the biggest celebration since, well, ever. Expectant, excited, ready to welcome the Olympic masses to the harbour city. She looked as serene as Claire Danes in Romeo and Juliet, dressed as an angel, lowish cut black tank top with those hipster low-rise Levi's denim jeans. Sparkles adorned her eyes, matching cute little mini buns on the left and right of her hair. A DJ broke all the rules, playing dance music instead of pub rock in an inner-city pub, but the Orient had something of a dance hall vibe adjacent to the front bar, and the punters followed the beat and the crowd and the vibe to the sticky wooden dance floor, bumping and grinding to grooves they didn't understand, moving their lithe, pretty young bodies in ways they had not yet moved. It was an eclectic congregation, all young, all unsure of themselves in the hot, crowded room. It felt subversive in a beautiful way, but Sydney was on the eve of celebration, and it was just before the nannies in Sussex Street decided to ban the fun from the pubs and watering holes in this sweaty city. So there she was, sipping her Stolly, condensation dripping off the matte clear bottle onto her slender hands. She had a simple elegance, like she was eastern suburbs minus the pretension. She didn't care what school you went to or if you were in the first 11s. Just a simple elegance, her suntanned skin beaming confidence in and out of the big blue. It was a time before the girls inked their skin with gaudy tattoos, for the most part. I assumed, incorrectly, as it turned out, that she had a tiny butterfly or Japanese symbol hidden on her ankle or lower back. Her hips rocked with the predictability of a metronome to the beat, hypnotically swaying, but not in a come-hither way. Instead, in tune with the chaotic harmony in the now swelling dance floor. Up until this point, love had never existed on the face of the earth, and I'd only read about it. I read about the hypothesis of it in high school English. It was a construction invented and dreamed by the ancients until, out of sheer cosmic spontaneous evolution on, or just near at least this dance floor which had sprung to life. I put my half-smoked cigarette in her mouth, which had just finished what looked like the final sip of her Stolly, to which she duly took a drag and blew the most perfect puff of smoke into the days of flashing laser lights being shot from the tiny DJ desk. Her eyes told me thank you, shimmering against the neon glow bright of bar lights. I'd never seen a creature like her before, mesmerizing, sweet perfume wafting off the supple gyrations of her body. She placed the cigarette back between my lips, flicking the butt with a precision into the trough below the bar. Remember those split-type receptacles filled with cigarette butts and bottle tops and whatever other mess that used to end up there at the end of the night? I blew the final gasp of smoke up in the same manner as she did. It whisked and curled in imperfect circles through the lasers and yellow glow of the light, joining the collective grey mist of a million cigarettes smoked here over the last century. Can you believe it? 100 years this gin joint had been here, a drop of the ocean in the eternity of time, and yet it was here that love, true love that is, was invented on the sticky floor and the sticky bar and the sticky tables, the smoke-filled people quagmire of the inner city Oriental Hotel. Can you believe it? She introduced herself to me and me to her next to the broken cigarette vending machine, no ID necessary to buy smokes from here, with bouncers who looked the other way when we were both underage. So with bouncers who looked the other way and cops too busy down at Oxford Street to care. Perhaps I saw her here when we were both underage, but back then I was too busy trying to buy my first beer as a minor. Plus I would have remembered her face through the trials of time. I tried to feed a 20 into the brown machine, and the bartender yelled, "It's broken," but the one in the lounge still works, over the thumping sound of the DJ, who kept rolling out and laying out the beats that made this tiny dance hall a portal of transcendence, breaking the well-established laws of space and time. That's why I can confidently tell you that this was where love was invented, and then it travelled back to the time of the sages, the seers, and the prophets to remind them of the future times to come. This invention of love was so catastrophic that it caused the great schism, travelling forwards and backwards and through the air and space and time, like a big ball of light, so wonderful that the writers of history could only dream about such things. She quickly wrote her phone number on my arm with her lipstick. No area code needed, as she signed off her phone number with an X. The Red Rattler dropped us off at Bondi Junction, and I held her hand as she raced down the still hot streets until we hit the beach, still teeming with summer energy and the smattering of shirtless locals drinking beer from long necks on the wall. Look, she pointed at a brewing midnight storm over the horizon. The invention of love, such as it were, exploded over the face and the fabric of the entire known universe. You probably need to put that at like half speed. But if you know Jack Kerouac, it will make more sense. And if you grew up in Sydney or Australia, I guess, in the late 90s, you'll probably understand better. So that's it, crew. I'll probably start making videos again. I got a little bit more time, a little bit more healthier. Remember, life's always an adventure when you got a camera in your hands.